then we get the Klingon thing. Mm-hmm. We get a Klingon crash landing in Oklahoma.
Yeah, and he's running around, and a guy shoots him with a phaser that looks like a shotgun, which is like so funny. Like it's like you could just watching this episode is so clear to me that like I'm like watching it, and I can just feel the producers of the show being like, none of that gay Star Trek stuff for wimps. We're in Oklahoma. I want to see a silo. I want to see a shotgun. I want to see corn fields.
Yeah, that's gonna be the first thing people see because I don't want to scare away the people who drive trucks.
No, like this is Star Trek for people who drive trucks.
Yeah, I feel like that's the way I've summed it up in my head. At least like the way they especially the way that truck drivers are advertised too, which is a whole other thing. Like,
yeah, pandered to.
Great. You scratched the paint.
The Bush version of the silent majority, where it was like they're like the Christian right is ascendant in America at this point, even pre 9/11. You know,
trying to probe the lore here of the sci-fi because I can't help myself.
Sure.
Why does this? What is this farmer doing? Is he like farming for the government? Is he?
He's a corn farmer. They're not really clear on how
what's
Earth
the economy
works.
at this point.
Yeah, like because it's 100 years after the events of the film First Contact.
You're all astronauts on some kind of Star Trek.
In which Earth has been like decimated.
Yeah.
And then they invent warp speed and they meet the Vulcans. And then it's a little wiggly as to what happened. Like, I mean, like this is the problem with all Star Trek timelines is they're all so wonky. But
yeah.
And which is why they keep making more stuff that happens in the early days of it to make it more confusing, which is so good.
Yes.
And not confusing. And it's like smart for sure. But it's like, it seems like Earth is still capitalist. It feels like we've not yet reached the luxury space communism of next gen for sure, because we're 200 years before. And like, and the thing is that like you watch the original series, it's never like, they're never like, oh, we're communist in the same way.
We, the people of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's definitely a thing that happens in Next Gen in those shows.
Workers of the world, unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains.
So like I'll give them some softness on the like there's still just a guy farming.
Right. It's not. Yeah. It doesn't really. It's not jarring to me. I was just like wondering that, and maybe that's. Trip does say something later about like how they've eliminated, I believe, like conflict and strife and.
Yeah. How about war? Disease, hunger. Pretty much wiped them out in less than 2 generations. I wouldn't call that small potatoes.
I don't think he talks about or like money.
They haven't eliminated so much conflict that a farmer doesn't have a shotgun on him at all times.
And that's the other question I'm asking is Castle Doctrine. What is this? This farmer literally says he shot him in self-defense.
That's right.
Later.
A corn farmer named Moore shot him with a plasma rifle. Says it was self-defense.
Why does the corn farmer have, again, a plasma rifle that looks like a shotgun? What, like that just looks like a regular old shotgun a farmer would have, but it's got like one like strip of like purple on it that makes it look a little futury. Which is some really good production design that I think is a lot of high effort.
I love it.
Why does he keep that thing on him at all times? Is it for varmints? Why does he have it?
Yeah, he's not, and you know, they know about aliens, definitely, so he's not too jarred by like seeing a alien on his property.
He's kind of like, oh, this one's got different bumps than the other ones I've seen.
Yeah. Long hair, lustrous hair.
Beautiful lustrous hair.
But the other thing is, this is definitely, I thought about a little bit more, is this is humanity after Armageddon. Specifically the Cromwell, like, First Contact, like, those ruffians are what, like, repopulated the world. Yeah. So would they be a little bit anarcho-capitalist?
I don't know. I mean, I think the point in like the lore is that we saw that we were not alone in the universe, and it completely changed our minds.
Yeah, that's a very fair point.
Like
Even
they met
like
the
Cochrane.
Klingons, and they're like, "Oh my God, we have to stop killing each other because there's a whole universe of people out there," which, you know, you can quibble with the verisimilitude of that. I think it's fine to me.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that too. But I just wondered a bit. It
is funny that like I can fully understand James Cromwell and his friends who met the Vulcans being like, oh shit, we gotta like eliminate war. But there's a whole other planet of people that did not meet the one ship full of Vulcans.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's whatever. Yeah, it's like the gist of it generally is that the president from the Fifth Element he got shot real bad, and Dr. Phlox, who's my homie, he's stabilized him in the Earth hospital.
Mm-hmm. He's all right.
The Vulcans want to let him die because that's diplomacy to
That's
them.
ethical. That's
Well, because
moral.
Klingons want to die,
They're a warrior race. They dream of dying in battle.
Yeah.
which like there's already been at this point so many episodes of Star Trek about how Klingons want to die.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much Klingon stuff on Deep Space Nine that we're so deep into like Klingonalia that like we've seen so much of Klingon culture. Like, yeah, we understand that like
Yeah.
they love to die.
Mm-hmm.
If they're like they love dying so much, and like he can't show up alive being helped, so they're just gonna let him die, and they're gonna and the Vulcans are like, we're gonna return his corpse to Kronos, right? Kronos.
Kronos.
I thought isn't let you pronounce it a certain way.
People
with
always
the-
pronounce it Kronos,
Kronos.
but it's spelled Qonos.
Oh right. Yeah.
So I'm always like, what do you?
I don't speak.
I'm crazy.
I don't speak, the
speak.
language.
Neither of us speak Klingon,
Yeah.
because it's not a real language.
This first episode, or this first scene after the credits or the music, is so coded with the humans just wanting to get out there and do some shit, get their hands dirty, and
Yeah.
these uptight
Klingons.
not Klingons, the
Vulcans. These Europeans telling Americans what to do.
Ambassador Saval thinks it would be best if we push off your launch until we've cleared this up.
Well, isn't that a surprise? You'd think they would have come up with something a little more imaginative this time.
Sarcasm aside, Captain, the last thing your people need is to make an enemy of the Klingon Empire.
not letting them invade countries.
It's also just so funny. I mean, this is all Star Trek, but this one so specifically is like, well, Earth is America.
Yeah.
And like the other ones are very like, you know, sometimes they'll be like, oh, the president of the Federation lives in Paris or whatever. Like, you know,
Yeah.
they'll show, like, in Deep Space Nine, you see, like, a weird elephant man who lives in Paris, and that's the president. And it's like, okay, sure. But this one, they're just kind of like, well, Earth, the United Earth government is the American government. It's like, fine, I guess. It's an American show made for American viewers. And it's also the early 2000s. Like, I get it. But it's so, like, these like, pricks from the European Union won't let us go to
The
space.
UN.
Or the UN or whatever. Like, and they're so coded as, like, wussy. But also cold and calculating. Because they're like, we're going to let this guy die. And
Yeah.
our hero, Scott Bakula as Jonathan Archer, is like,
Hell we are.
like, yeah, we're going to, like, and he barges into the hospital room where Dr. Phlox is there. And Archer's like, is this guy alive? And Phlox is like, yeah, man, I'm a doctor. He's alive. And it goes back into the Vulcans. Like, he's alive. We're going to pack him up onto our ship and, like, take him there.
They're getting ready to go out in this ship that is a little not ready. They didn't put all the weapons in it.
Yeah, the weapons are not in it yet. And they're just like, hope nobody shoots at us. From this, we're going to deliver this Klingon who we know from the Vulcans is a warrior race.
They're a warrior race.
And we know that they love to die and be in battle. And we know that we are also perhaps violating a taboo by delivering this guy home.
Alive.
Alive instead of letting him die. And then they're like leaving and they're like, hope nobody shoots at us. Despite entering the most getting shot at situation maybe in human history.
There's no chance I can have these weapons online in 3 days.
We're just taking a sick man back to his home world. Why do we need weapons?
Didn't you read the profile report on these Klingons?
I like the little music cue we get for the Enterprise launching here. It's like feels like the only time they really go with some like classically Star Trek
Yes.
orchestral motifs.
Swells.
But still not that much. Not that much. I have to be timid with that. Don't scaring away the truck.
No, yeah, like
Drivers.
someone's watching the show from their Ford F-150
Yeah.
through the window of their house. This is how you watch television when you are a Republican.